Hey guys, welcome back to another video here at Gideon's Tactical. I'm here at one of my favorite trailheads that I hike year round, and I wanted to give you guys an update for 2021 on my Daypack and my Daypack loadout. And not only run down some of my very tried and true geared items I've been using for a very long time, but several items I've updated for the 2021 hiking season. Now, before we go any further though, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, which is Surfshark VPN. Your online footprint, that's your business. And with more and more of our time being spent online, protecting our data from prying eyes from big tech and big corporations, I believe is more important than ever. And that's what Surfshark VPN offers to you and me, the user. It gives us the ability to mask our IP address so that our data is secure and safe, regardless if we're using a open network, a Wi-Fi network, say at your favorite coffee shop or your place of business. Prying eyes won't be able to see your data when you're transferring funds, maybe on your bank account or your surf history online, which gives you the peace of mind of knowing that no one can see where you're connecting from and where you're connecting to online. It's a breeze to download. It only took me moments and just runs in the background of just about every device in every platform, from your Macs and PCs, your smart TVs, game consoles, and cell phones. And with promo code Gideon's Tactical, you're gonna get a whopping 83% off your subscription, as well as the first 3 months free. And with one subscription, you're able to put that on an unlimited amount of devices. So I encourage you guys, hop on over to Surfshark VPN, check out that link, use that promo code. You're gonna get an insane deal. I'm glad I have it running on my software programs and my devices, and I believe you will too, and will give you just an extra layer of security when you are online and protection of your data. Now, what about keeping your sensitive items secure and out of the elements? Think like your phone and your wallet, particularly. I've gone back and forth over the years using all kinds of different dry bags and things, but I've kind of landed for the last year or so on the Magpul, I believe you pronounce it DAKA, series of pouches. These are really good polymer, a water-resistant zipper, rain, moisture, snow, it's not gonna damage anything inside. Really good zipper there. And then it makes it a perfect compartment for, say, your phone and wallet, maybe your keys. They have all kinds of different shapes, sizes, colors. Some of them have clear windows so you can see what's inside. And I just like that it's kind of slim versus some of those other dry bags that tend to kind of be bulky and baggy. So we're gonna jump right in with the Daypack itself. And I've been using these now for over a year, and it's the Coulee series from Mystery Ranch. Now this model is the larger Coulee 40 liter. And the reason that I use this often is because of the very large camera equipment that I have to take with me. If you're not a videographer or a photographer, then the 25 liter would probably be better suited for your needs. And with so many packs on the market, the reason that I've fallen in love with this series is not only the toughness and durability that it has, but also the yoke system. It has a very adjustable yoke system, even on the smaller 25, and it has a very well designed waist belt that will be able to carry loads very well. And to follow up that insane comfortability is the amount of accessibility in not only getting to the interior, but the pockets. A lot of backpacks, you know, they have like water bottle pockets. They're kind of small, and that's about it in the Daypack arena. This has two extremely large pockets right here, and then two more on either side for your water bottle. So you can carry a lot of extra gear on the exterior of the pack. And then with Mystery Ranch's Y design, I can fillet this bad boy open and get to everything that I need. And you can see here, this KELTY brick carries all of my large camera equipment, and that takes up about 3/4 of the pack. And if there's a day where I don't need that, then I can easily slim down it to the 25 liter model. So not only accessibility, but toughness, durability, and ergonomics on your body with this Coulee series just takes the cake for me, and that's why I always gravitate to this series when I'm going out on a day hike. Now, Mystery Ranch is gonna be a pretty penny, with the 25 liter being around 170 and this 40 liter being around 220. So obviously you have to be on the trail a lot to really justify that. If you're wanting to go with still a really good ergonomic built pack, but maybe save some money, look at the Red Wing series from KELTY. That is a great option as well if you're on a tighter budget. And guys, obviously throughout this video, I'll try and annotate in as many details as I can, as well as pricing, but we'll have hyperlinks for you below over to Backcountry, as well as Amazon, as well as a few other sites. So if there's something that is connecting with you that you're like, oh man, I need to throw that in my day pack, then we'll have those hyperlinks for you guys below. We appreciate when you use those if there's something that connects with you that you want to go ahead and start deploying in your hiking loadout. All right, so next up, let's talk fixed blades. In my opinion, I believe everybody should have some form of a fixed blade when they go on a day hike. You just never know what you're going to encounter on the trail, and you may need a blade of some kind. Now, obviously, you can easily go with an ultralight Mora. It's going to cost you like 15 to 20 bucks. Those are amazing tools. I like to go with something a little bit more premium just because I love blades that much. And so the two options I've been looking at that give me lightweight but a lot of capability are either the Field Buddy 5.5. This is a knife connection design and then produced by Tops Knives, 1095 high carbon steel, 5-inch blade. It's about 10 ounces, high saber grind. I like that it's a little bit thinner than a lot of other survival knives. Very ergonomic, very, very comfortable. The sheath has lots of different mounting options and gives you the capability to prepare a fire, do a lot of different things, light shelter building if you had to. And it's not going to be this giant, heavy, pound-and-a-half survival knife. So I really like this if I want that high carbon, kind of broad, pushing a survival knife, though I would call it a companion blade design. And these guys usually will go for about $160 on average. Now, if I don't go with that and I want to go with something even a little bit more streamlined and lighter weight, I've been using the Rokka knives. I can't even pronounce this in Finnish. It's a Finnish knife, and it's a Finnish word. I believe it's Wilderness Warrior is what it stands for. And you can see how low profile with lots of lashing options this has a very ergonomic handle. Love how well it fits in the hand. It's very lightweight, full tang all the way through, really robust, super precise blade. It's rocking, I believe, 20 CRV2 steel with a Rockwell of like 63, and then differentially heat treated. I mean, this is a sick blade. Think of your Moras, but just like on a whole nother level of edge retention and toughness and durability. And because it's so slim and lightweight, it's a great option if you do use your knife a lot and you are a day hiker. So these two blades are what I kind of rotate through if I know I'm going to be traveling several miles and I'm going to be doing a day hike. Next up, let's talk about hydration here a little bit. There's so many water bladders on the market. I've had just about every brand imaginable, from Camelback to Platypus to HydroPack, I think. And what I've landed on for about 4 years now are Source Hydration water bladders. They're designed in Israel, I believe. Very heavy duty, lots of different opening and closure options that are available. They have a lot of different sizes. They have antibacterial liners that really work well. I've seen that. Lots of disconnection points, things like that, to make it very easy to feed your hose through. This is a 3 liter, so I could do 100 ounces of water. So this would be a very large, like full day of hiking. And this is the bladder that I usually gravitate to. And then I have a smaller one that's like 40 ounces if maybe I'm doing a shorter hike or mountain biking or something like that. But I found that with not only the 2 different openings that are available here and here, makes it easy to fill, easy to drain, as well as all the connection points. It just works for me more than the other ones that I've used in the past. Now, what about water purification? The easier it is for you to purify your water while you're on the go on the trail, the less water you have to carry with you. It just means that you can go faster, you have to burn less calories. And so I've gone through all kinds of different brands over the years, but last year I discovered GRAYL water purifiers. And I was really skeptical at first because this model is a pretty penny at around $90, and then they have a lightweight version that comes in around 60 or 70. And so in my mind, I'm like, man, that's a lot. What can this really do? But this can literally purify not only heavy metals, protozoa, bacteria, viruses. I mean, you can literally take this around the world and use it, and it's so convenient. You literally can scoop up the water and then in about 20 seconds depress it, and you have a fully charged, if you will, water bottle ready to rock and roll. You can use it to fill up your water bladder that you may be using, and so that's a great option as well, where a lot of other models that you have to keep the contents dirty, and then you've got to drink out of it, you know, and purify it right there into the source. So I feel like it's very tough, very robust. Use it on backpacking trips, tons of day hikes, and the, I believe, GeoPress, great option if you need convenience and you like to hike, particularly maybe with other people, and you want robustness that can really do a lot for you. Then you always got to have a Nalgene with you. Now, if I do the water bladder and the GeoPress, I'll usually leave the Nalgene at home, but sometimes, you know, if it's a lighter hike, I won't do the water bladder. It's, you know, going to be really cold, and then I'll do Nalgenes in replace of the water bladder, but it's always good to have one in rotation at least. I got to say, I like the water resistant zippers here on the bag. So up on this top loaded portion, I have my personal IFAK or medical kit. I believe this is an 1110 that I got through LA Police Gear, and in fact all the gear in here as well for my med kit I got through LA Police Gear. I just find that they're more trustworthy in where they're getting their sourced medical equipment than trying to buy stuff on Amazon. And I actually have a 12% off promo code for you guys, GT12 for you. And you can get 12% off anything over on LA Police Gear, and I'll have a link for this med kit. But what I like is that it's really compact. It has everything that I feel like I need in a day hike that I could use. It's, you know, easy to be deployed one-handed, has lots of lashing points on the back that I could, you know, attach to a belt, different things like that. Pulls this little guy open, and I got basically everything I would need from a SWAT T tourniquet, which I've actually had to use on a buddy before, and without it, once we finally got back to civilization, the doctors were like, if you didn't have this on, you probably would have bled out. So I trust SWAT T tourniquets, had to literally deploy one on a buddy. And then I have a full Celox coagulant bandage as well. You know, gloves, got a couple other bandages, and then a little boo-boo kit back there with just some Band-Aids and things, and a few painkillers and antihistamines shoved down in there. So, you know, if it's you and, you know, another person, I think this is plenty. If you're going with a huge crew, you might want to make something that's larger and start with the items in here, and then, you know, augment it with just more items possibly. And depending on what you're doing, if you're doing a lot of stuff with sharp instruments and things like that, you might want to augment as well with like a cat tourniquet, things like that. And LA Police Gear does carry all of those that you guys can go check out and see if that's something that you need to invest in, depending on the level that you feel, not only preparedness, because you have to be equipped and know how to use these things. I'm not a medical professional, but you should always be trained, know what you're doing, and know how to use these on people, and never try and do it to yourself or someone else unless you know what you're doing. So just be word to the wise, know what you're doing with your med kits, but you should always have one, and that's what I've been using now for several months and really enjoying it in my day pack. So real quick, eyewear, it's always good to have something. You know, here in the Rocky Mountains, we have sunshine like 300 days a year. What I've been using for a long time is Hazard 4 hard case. Fits just about every pair of sunglasses I've ever tried to put in there, including all my knockarounds. And I like that it has not only the rigidness that I won't get crushed, but it's got a couple attachment points, little carabiner aspect, and a PALS webbing runner that you can run on your belt or through some sort of attachment on a pack. Next up, let's go ahead and look here at the cook set. Been rocking this guy for quite a while, even burned a hole. I got to get a new bag here. This is a Toaks. You guys can see that there. 750 ml milliliter pot. Got my little MSR spork, fits really nicely on the side there. And this is gonna weigh exactly 1 pound. Everything you see here, fully loaded with a brand new fuel canister. Nice lid there. Got to throw your, light my fire steel. Got a mini Bic lighter. Got my Pocket Rocket 2.0 from MSR for cooking, boiling water, doing whatever. And then I got my Fold-A cup right there. Perfect. Got my canister, and we're ready to rock and roll. So that's a full inclusive cook kit. And there are aspects to the gear that I am showing you, say like the cook kit, that depending on the type of day hike I'm doing. You know, when I'm going out and I'm gonna be gear testing and, you know, spending a full day, I like to be able to make a hot cup of coffee and do that type of stuff. If we're going, you know, 18 miles and, you know, testing out a new trail and gonna go on a big adventure, then I might leave that set up at home and just make sure that I have some of the other items to help me start a fire that we're gonna be looking at here today, and just different things. So this is a system that can be augmented depending on the environment and the type of hike that I'm going to be doing, the distance, how much water will be available versus not, and the same thing for you as you're augmenting your systems on what type of hike are you doing. Is it long distance, light load as possible, or is it something more like, yeah, we're just going up for an adventure, we're gonna take a couple hours, hang out, maybe build a fire, do that type of stuff. We'll determine what type of items is best suited for you and some of the things I'm showing you today. Now, what about pocket knives? We hit fixed blades earlier, but to be honest with you, when we're talking about a day hike, when I use a knife, about 60% of what I've ever used that knife for on a day hike can be done with a pocket knife. The fixed blades are just good to have as a backup, and in an emergency situation, it's good to have something that doesn't fold and doesn't have any joints or locks. But most of the stuff that you do, open packaging, carving, whittling, doing whatever you're gonna do, a pocket knife easily can perform. And there's so many options. There's premium, there's custom, there's, you know, budget friendly. And I tend to gravitate on a day hike more for a budget friendly option. Not only because it's gonna get beat on and used in lots of different grime and environments, but what happens if I lose it? I don't want to be crying that I just dropped my $300 knife on the trail and I'm never going to see it again. And one of my favorites is the Buck 110 112 Slim series. These guys will run you about $25 to $30, made right here in America with 420 high carbon steel, razor sharp, wicked sharp, great pocket clip that rides real deep and grabs your pocket real nicely. You could run lanyard holes through them, or lanyards through them, and the handles just feel very comfortable. There's no weird angles and things to worry about, and it's just a very comfortable tool to use, and they're very slim and very lightweight, so you're not gonna feel it in your pocket when you're hiking and trekking and seeing those amazing views and going on those awesome adventures. All right, so next up is my survival pouch. This is a big one. Now, you can basically use any pouch under the sun. This Sabra Gear one seems to be working very well, has a size that I like a lot. And guys, I've gone back and forth over the years with different organizers, and you can basically come up with any scenario you want. I'm just gonna go through more the items that I'm using in here and things that I think are very important to have on a day hike. Things like a waterproof poncho. That's a very important item to have. A bandana. It's literally like 100 uses that you can do with a bandana. Those both in high vis, so if I had to signal for somebody for help, I could absolutely do that. I really like these. I believe, I can't remember the name of it, I'll annotate it in. They're adhesive tape for fixing tears and rips in like your backpacks and, you know, things like that, coats. So I really like to have just a little patch of that with me. I've been keeping my kind of EDC style pouch with me as an augmentation to everything else that you're seeing in here. But I always make sure that I put in a little Ziploc bag so it doesn't ruin all your gear. Some mosquito wipes, these seem to work really well. Got to do some Skin Glide anti-friction cream. I'll put that on my feet. Maybe if I have other points on my body where I'm just really chafing, these really have saved my feet so many times on backpacking trips when we did the Continental Divide hike, 18 miles in a day over the Continental Divide, and then just some sunscreen. So those three items are always with me and ready to rock and roll if needed. Good knife sharpener from Work Sharp. Important with all these other tools that we're looking at to be able to put an edge back on your tool if you did have to do that. And then even today, a lifesaver, having some form of a folding saw, I believe, is very important. The Bako Laplander is a great option, under $30, made in Sweden or Finland, I forget. I've had so many of these. They're super reliable, very lightweight, and can basically eliminate the need for a big, large survival knife. If I have this and one of the two fixed blades I showed you earlier, I can do just about anything from, you know, fire building to shelter building without any sort of a problem, and it's cheaper and lighter weight than trying to get some big machete, hatchet, or, you know, something else like that. Then as we go on to the actual organizer pouch itself, you got to have some wipes. There's lots of different good options out there. I like to have some form of bum wipe, you know, just to take care of your essentials on the trail. That's the worst, is when nature calls, you ate something you probably shouldn't have, and you or your partner with you has a gut issue. It's good to have something. Now, as we go in here, these are a lot of items that I think are very vital. One of them would be some form of a battery pack. I use Anchor battery packs to charge your phone, and cables to charge your phone if needed. If you get lost somewhere and you gotta, climb up somewhere to get some sort of signal, your battery dies, it's good to have something like that. I got a bunch of cordage. It's always important to have cordage. This is reflective, really good. Lighter, obviously, and then some form of a fire steel. You can see there, just throws flames, and is super, super compact, which I really like a lot. And then, emergency whistle, gotta have a compass so you know where you're going. And then as we go along here, hands-free illumination is super important. So I've decided to go, I think this is an ion, a very small ion headlamp for a while. Just try it out. I've been happy with what it's been doing so far. Runs on AAA batteries. So always good to have backup batteries. And hands-free so that you can scramble, you can climb if one of your hands is injured, you got to build a fire and you're using your hands, the sun is set. Having something hands-free is very, very important, so that's just a good option. And then we have a pen that goes along with my Right in the Rain notepad that kind of acts as a wallet. It's always good to do that. You could leave notes for people at trailheads, different things like that if you had to. Some water tablets for extra water purification, a credit card with some duct tape on that, and then I do have some cash as well, that if I had to trek in somewhere to get help, spend the night, I have about $100 rocking in there. And then we got our emergency mirror. Tried to keep this is pretty old, but tried to keep the protection plastic on there, so you can signal. And then an emergency blanket, high vis, because if I'm having to bust this out, it's probably because it's pretty gnarly and I need some help. So good to have a high vis emergency blanket in there as well. And before I forget, got to have a multi-tool of some kind. And I believe this is the Evo 13 Swiss Army knife. Lightweight, compact. It's kind of a hybrid between some of the other models I've used before, and like the Tinker, which is also a great option. It's got the awl, got the screwdriver, but it does have not only a blade, but a little wood saw for notching, delimbing if I had to, can opener, bottle opener, scissors, which I think is something that I've kind of lost in the past with my med kits. So in an emergency situation, I could use this to cut open clothing, or just do smaller tasks that a knife may not be really suited for. All kinds of aspects, and it's just so compact that it really fits a need for me, because it can not only fit inside this kit, but it cuts down on the footprint and the weight. Is some form of leather gloves. You never know what type of things you're going to be doing, from scrambling and climbing and maybe working with wood, having to build a fire. I mean, all kinds of different stuff, and protecting those hands, very vital, very important. If you start hurting these in any way, that can really hinder your not only survivability, but just enjoyment of your day hike. So having some leather gloves, I think, is very important. Well, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been fun and entertaining, but I hope that it's also given you ideas, concepts, maybe things to look into yourself. And I look forward to hearing from you guys as well. If there's a gear item that you want me to go a little bit more in depth on, or do a whole new video on, or I can just answer in the comments below, I'll look forward to reading all of those from you guys. I encourage you to check out the other video popping up. Subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber to the channel. We're throwing up content like this all the time. And until next time, always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared. We'll see you out there.